Hi there, welcome to Teacher Lisa's Useful English. Today's topic is very or really. When to know when to use which one, especially in speaking. So let's look at some of the rules, we'll look at some examples, and we'll look at some sentences that need to be filled in with very or really. So let's look at very first. Very is used with adjectives, adverbs, and negatives. So before we go any further, you need to know what an adjective is or an adverb is in order to know which to use, very or really. So an adjective is a word that modifies or describes a noun. An adverb is a word that modifies or describes a verb. And then a negative is something like doesn't, can't, hasn't, a negative expression or a negative statement. So here are some examples. He is very funny. Funny is an adjective, so you can use very. Mary runs very quickly. Quickly is an adverb describing how Mary runs, so it describes or modifies a verb. So Mary runs very quickly. And then a negative, she doesn't sing very well. A negative, usually you use a very. It just sounds better. You wouldn't say she doesn't sing really well. You would say she doesn't sing very well. So very, again, you're going to use with an adjective, an adverb, and it sounds better when you're using a negative as well. Let's look at really. So really, you can use with adjectives and adverbs as well. But really is the one that you use for verbs. And this is the one that I hear students misusing the most. Sometimes they'll say, I very like something, or I very whatever with a verb. And you really need to use the really. I really like something. I really hate something, or I really dislike something. You're going to use really with a verb. Let's look at the examples. The house is really eco-friendly. So eco-friendly is an adjective. And that would mean when you're talking about a house, maybe the owners have solar panels on the roof. Maybe they have a thermal way of heating the house as well. So that's what eco-friendly would be. So that's an adjective, and you would use really in this case. He always studies really intensively. Never bother him. Don't call him when he's studying. He's studying really intensively. He's so focused. So he always studies. There's a verb. Really intensively. This is the adverb, so you're going to use really with it. Ellen really likes. So here you have a verb. She really likes cheesecake. You're going to use really with the verb. Okay, so really, again, is used with adjectives and adverbs and verbs. Unlike very, really is used with verbs. So let's look at some sample sentences and see if we can't fill these in with the proper choice, really or very. So number one, Tom something hates to go to the dentist. So we have a verb here. So the only choice, of course, for this sentence is really. Tom really hates to go to the dentist. Number two, I something can't stand when people shout. This is an idiom. When you say, oh, I can't stand that, it means you really, really dislike something. So I something can't stand. Again, this is a verb again. So you're going to have to use really with a verb. So I really can't stand when people shout. Let's look at number three. It was something difficult to complete the exam on time. So we're looking at an adjective here describing how difficult the process was to complete the exam on time. So with an adjective, you can use either very or really. You know, it was very difficult or it was really difficult. Either one is fine. So very or really with an adjective. Number 4, he drives something quickly when he's late for work. Quickly is an adverb. So you can use either very or really with an adverb. He drives very quickly, or he drives really quickly when he's late for work. So very or really is fine with the adverb describing how he drives. Number 5, Peter doesn't get something good marks in school. So here we have a negative. So we know that with a negative, it's usually a better choice to use the word very. So Peter doesn't get very good marks in school. Number 6, my college professor something enjoys teaching. So enjoys is a verb. We know that with a verb, you can only use really. So my college professor really enjoys teaching. So really. And number 7, I something like seafood. Again, we have a verb here. So we know that with a verb, you're only going to use really. So let's read the sentences again. Tom really hates to go to the dentist, right? There's the verb. I really can't stand when people shout. It was very or really difficult to complete the exam on time, either one for the adjective. Number 4, he drives very or really quickly when he's late for work. So quickly is an adverb, so you can use either one again. Number 5, he doesn't get very good marks in school. It's a negative here, so it's better to use very with a negative. Number 6, my college professor really enjoys teaching. With a verb, you're going to use really. And number 7, I really like seafood. Again, with a verb, you're going to use really. So there you have really and very, or very and really, used with adjectives, adverbs, and negatives for very, and used with adjectives, adverbs, and verbs with really. So I hope that you found this video helpful for you. Just let me know if you have any questions at all. Otherwise, thanks so much for joining me. Have a great day.